navigating COVID-19 is the only thing is certain, that it's uncertain. And the school board has been and remains supportive to the superintendent. And last week you, I don't know if you used the word adopt, I forgot what word you used, but you endorsed my recommendations, and I appreciate that. And we reached out to parents, and we reached out to staff, and we asked parents to make a commitment. And in many ways, I recognize that the commitment we've asked them to make, I'm now asking them to delay that commitment. But the delay is because as I reflect on this daily, pretty much all day long, and talk to people, listen to people, read the many emails that you have received and phone calls and so on, I've been pretty consistent in all my messaging that goal one was going to be the primary goal. And as Roxanne just spoke, the struggle in this plan that I'm proposing is an acknowledgement that we do have children in Stafford that all children need to be in school, but there's a group of children that need to be in a place called a classroom in front of a teacher. And I don't lose sight of that. But what I do focus on and see as a priority is that child and that teacher that's in front of that child, their ability to stay healthy. And there's no guarantees. I'll be the first one to say, there's no guarantees. That to me becomes the priority in my recommendation to the board. Now, why is this so challenging? There's understandable anxiety about health risks for adults and children. Every day, all day long, you could pick whatever cable channel you watch, whatever newspaper you read, whatever conversation you have. There's great uncertainty about what this COVID-19 really means. And I want to be specific. I don't see anything in any readings, and you may read something different, where we could conclusively make a statement how this virus will be in a school setting. We could talk about it in other settings, but schools have not been open in the United States. I know there's a desire at times to compare to other countries, but other countries have addressed the COVID-19 in different ways, although most recently, if we want to look at other countries, you did read about South Korea and Israel, which I would say did not have a positive story when it came to COVID-19. There's understandable anxiety about lost instructional time and learning. Absolutely. Lack of clarity and inconsistent messaging, and this is at every level, not the local level, from political leaders and health experts. One day we get a report, and I don't mind mentioning the association, American Academy of Pediatrics, send them back to school, just do this, do that, kids will be safe. 1 week later, we get another report. However, you need to consider the following. And that messaging also causes anxiety because we're not really sure. I already mentioned the media. I already mentioned social media. There's a lot of information that's out there. Sometimes it's not accurate. Sometimes it's accurate. There's no question in the last 72 hours, the last week, today, I read in the Washington Post right before this meeting, 3 school systems north of us are having the same conversation we're having. A plan was put forward. Another plan is now being forward. And you already know, last week I spoke to many of you. We saw the school system to the north of us and a school system to the south. I'm not going to say that's the driving decision, but I'm not dismissive that that is a factor. As I already stated, I listened to the Fairfax School Board today. I've listened to the Chesterfield School Board. I've listened to the Prince William County School Board. I've listened to the Spotsylvania County School Board. I know a lot about school boards. And when I heard the Fairfax Health Department speak, when they were asked point blank, can we open school? They would not answer one way or another except to say we could share what today's data is and what yesterday's data is. But we can't unequivocally tell you what it will be when you open up after Labor Day. Did state that there's a 4 to 6 week trail with some of the data, which would bring us to our opening school. As already indicated, we spoke to Dr. Stern again today. There will be a data dashboard for every community. That data dashboard has not been developed yet. I spoke about this last week. It will determine low, moderate, and high-risk communities. There's, as I already stated, virtual learning and equity concerns, although I need to say this, I know we're going to be a lot better than in the spring. I know we'll be a lot better in August, and I know we'll be a lot better in September and October moving forward. This is all very new, and answers are not clear as we would like it. And I do respect everybody's opinion. Many people who might be watching know, like yourselves, I have reached out and spoke to them and have responded to almost every email that I received the last 72 hours that became a little bit more challenging. And what I do acknowledge, there are very strong and diverse beliefs in Stafford, which honestly is not unique. It's true in every community, but we're speaking about Stafford Schools. I have to look at this positively because I think that's the way we should look at it. Is there a lot of concerns? Absolutely. But there are ways of looking at this as positive also. So I've heard people say, I heard somebody today on TV saying that, this is another person that's giving their opinion that this virus could be around for another 2 years. And what they were saying is that, we all better learn to adapt to something really new, okay? And I believe that schools are being asked to move faster than the data is allowing us to know what is right or wrong. But what I do know is that this experience will have our staff be much stronger in virtual instruction. Students will be provided greater flexibility and multimodal delivery models. Learning disruptions due to illness, long weather closing, and other potential disruptions will be minimized because we'll be better prepared to move to a virtual learning. Greater potential for vertical and horizontal instruction. How often do you hear about a certain school or a couple schools that don't have all the certified teachers they need, especially in certain subject areas, and maybe another school has that? Well, how about if we were able to set up classrooms and have teachers at another school be the lead teacher? How about professional development? Many things that Roxanne spoke about have been virtually. How about our meetings? We've been holding meetings. So there's I think, a way of reimagining how we do work. I've been talking to a lot of superintendents. Let's not just worry, let's not just focus on our schools, but how can we leverage this so we all benefit? So if there's a school system in Southside or the Shenandoah Valley or north of us that have classes, so one school talked about how they have Chinese, we do not. Okay? What if we were able to virtually have some of our students take Chinese? That was just an example. So I think there's some opportunities right there. So that is where I'm at. I feel very comfortable with the decision, recognizing that this is far from a perfect plan to support all children's academic needs, but I feel pretty confident in saying it's a plan that greatly minimizes the chance that a child and adult will get sick. And that's where I finally landed on.